So, Sean and Mr. Harmon back here at Nellie Scott. This stone right here, we raised it a couple weeks ago with Mr. Donnie Rogers. And the reason we couldn't fully assemble the stone at the time was because there was a break in the foundation. And what we had to do is we had to level the stone out. We already got the epoxy set in. So we have the epoxy set into the holes, and then we just ran a small bead right across in between where the pins would lie. And the reason is because if you put too much epoxy in, and then when you set that headstone down, all that squeeze is what they call it, would just ooze out, and then you have to clean that. And even though you can clean it, it's just unnecessary. And if you know in advance, like whatever you're working with, as it compresses down, how it's going to work when you set the stone to the foundation. You can judge how much you need to use, and of course the stuff's not too cheap, so and you want it to go a long ways, so just be cognizant of that. So we're going to go ahead and lower down Miss Nellie Scott stone. And one thing that we pointed out before, we mistakenly gave the age of 13, but she actually passed away when she was 43 years old, and her stone's here in section 1. So we're going to go ahead and lower it down. Once it's set, we're going to use one of these braces on the back to give it the final level. As you can see, we've got our handy dandy green post leveling tool already attached to the side, and then so that way once the stone is lowered to the foundation, we'll kind of work it around just to move around the epoxy, and then we'll give the final brace on the back, and then we'll return as soon as I'll return to the video as soon as we get this stone lowered down. Alright, see you in a second. Oh yeah, we are. Time down. Alright, here we go. Down ladder. You kind of twist the stone also to
I did when we went down.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have Nellie Scott stone lower down. We kind of moved it around so that way it kind of evens out the epoxy, and then we have a bracing tool on the back of the stone so that way we can get the very minor fine adjustments set in, and then we're just going to let that stay probably for a couple of days or until we come back again. So when the epoxy hardens, as soon as you let that brace off, the stone is upright and level as possible. Alright, we'll see you in the next cut. Hey folks, we're back again here at Mr. John B. Magee Stone. Where we left off last time, we raised the stone. It was pretty much buried almost this far deep into the ground. So we raised the stone up, reset the stone, made sure it was level. The other thing that we did is where the video cut off last time, it was a pretty dirty stone, and now Mr. Harmon's going to zoom in on the actual stone itself, and then you can actually see the lettering now, and then we'll explain what we did. So actually Mr. Harmon came back in, manually cleaned it with a brush and some water, and to knock the first layer of dirt off. And then what he used was a D2 cleaner, so that's Delta 2. That's one of the biological or earth-friendly type cleaners that most of the national cemeteries like to use. And what it is that once you spray it on, you just set it, and the stone just almost gets brighter every time you come back. So it just gets brighter and brighter and brighter. and what it does is it cleans or it kills the growth that you would see on the stone. And most of the stone was actually preserved by the fact that it was in the ground. But now the stone's back up. Here we are about a month later. The stone's cleaned up, and then of course it's just going to get cleaner over time. And then we're going to do routine maintenance as we go along here at the cemetery. We also updated a picture of the stone along with the rest of the inscription to find a grave. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind of, is that when you're updating these stones, if there's anything that you would want to add on, follow up with the different genealogical websites and whatnot, and you should be good to go.